Just give a couple seconds and we'll just dive right into it. Just waiting for my back office here to load. Also, if you can hear me, just let me know in the comments. Yeah, we can hear you. No, we can't hear you. Whatever. Just waiting for people to show up. Got 22 out of 115 registered. So we're going to be starting very, very soon. What we're going to basically cover is simply, can't hear me fine, okay, good. Basically, the only thing, just going to kind of cover some details. And been kind of waiting for certain other things to happen, meaning people to, finish their sales funnels, to recommend them and stuff like that. But what I'm going to just talk about is just going to keep reviewing the plan, because a lot of people are getting distracted. A lot of people are joining all kind of new programs. A lot of people are going all over the place, when the only thing they really have to do is just buckle down and get more people to see your offer. So, and I'm like still kind of keep these hangouts somewhat generic, but a lot of people on these hangouts are normally in the same programs that I'm in, but some people are not. But again, just moving on, I'm just talk about the plan. Also, I'm still using the rev share strategies for now. I called it my last rev share rodeo, because people know that I'm in, my paying ads and FutureAdPro. And the whole idea is using that money for paid traffic, real paid traffic, So we all know that people who surf rev shares, generally, most of the people are just on there just to click ads and, to collect their daily income. So, it's ideal to kind of leverage that mentality and start to withdraw money from those rev shares so you can actually buy traffic, real traffic from real other outside sources to start getting signups. And that's the only way you're going to get signups, is by getting real traffic. So, I see some people saying they can't hear or see. You may have to log out, log back in, because I got a number of yeses from everybody else. So if a bunch of people do hear me, then if you can't, then you might, I'm just saying, you might want to just reset or log out, log back in, or do whatever it is. Then drop a comment once you get back in. So moving on. The main idea, okay, when traffic monsoon, got shut down and maps left the United States and all of this stuff was happening, there was still a whole bunch of people using those rev share programs as a main source of income. That, that was it. That was the program. That was their business. But that's not the case. And I'm also going to, just lay out the plan and why the plan is the way it is. So first off, my paying ads and FutureAdPro. For those of you on here who can stomach another rev share, those are the only two ones that I'm in. And I'm calling this my last rev share rodeos, because I'm gonna ride those two horses until I can't ride them anymore. And that's going to be it as far as rev share strategies. When traffic monsoon got shut down, I needed another source of income. And so that's why I was looking at that's why I started the instant cash strategy. You make a sale today, you get paid today. So that daily money replaced my rev share daily money. See what I'm saying? So when I was using the rev share, I was using traffic monsoon. I was withdrawing, $200, $300, $400, $1,000. Near the end of 2015, I was taking out $1,500 to $2,000 a day. $1,500 would go to pay my debt, and 500 would go into traffic. And then money I made in Power Lead System would go in my pocket. And that just kept cranking. That just kept leads coming in. That kept new referrals coming in. And when those new referrals bought ad packs, those commissions would outweigh whatever money I was withdrawing. So, you know, just understand that. But when Traffic Monsoon, you know, got shut down, I needed something to give me daily pay right now, today money, because of the situation I was personally in, which I'm still kind of am in. Now, the instant cash strategy, the idea was the same. The idea is to generate daily predictable money that you can take to use to buy daily traffic. Well, what about money that goes in your pocket? It was still the same. Power Lead System money, P, that money went in my pocket. You know, and it just made sense in my head. Traffic Monsoon money, when I was withdrawing it on a daily basis, that money was for traffic and my debt, but mostly for traffic. And then after Traffic Monsoon, you know, I had Power Lead System money, that money would go in my pocket, and that would keep the wheel turning. My instant cash strategy, the idea is the same. You make a sale, you get paid right now today, you take that right now today money, you don't use it. You take that money, you use it for traffic. And then of course, where most of us are using the Power Lead System, that's the money that goes in our pocket. So that just keeps things cranking. You see what I'm saying? So that means, you know, you're keeping people coming in. And I see a comment already, Ed. I think you need a rev share to generate money without referring instant cash. You have to recruit. You have to recruit in anything you're in. A lot of people join rev shares because they don't have to recruit. Well, where do you think the rev share money is coming from? It's coming from people who are bringing new money into the system by people who are recruiting. When you follow my strategy, for example, in the instant cash strategy, you make a sale today, you use that money for traffic, and that takes care of your recruiting. Whatever business you're in, you're going to have to recruit. People are afraid to recruit. They want to make money, but they don't want to recruit people. Well, where do you think money's going to come from? It's not just going to magically come out of the air. You know, you're going to have to find new people, make new sales to get money, period. That's true for any business. That's not true for rev shares. You know, I mean, that is true for rev shares, but that's true for any business. Any business you're in, if you aren't making sales, you're done. You have no business. You know, if McDonald's, for some odd reason, just didn't make any new sales for a month straight across the world, they would be out of business. You know, so you're going to have to recruit. A lot of people join a rev share because they think they don't have to recruit and they can still make money. That's why they go out of business. That's why they go out of business, because of lazy ass people who don't want to recruit. The people who aren't recruiting aren't bringing money to the business. And if the business isn't getting new money, it's going out of business. And it doesn't have to be a rev share. It can be anything. Anything you're in, if you're not bringing in new sales, new money, you're done, period. I don't care. People want to make money online. You're going to have to get money from other people. Where do you think you're going to get money from? Well, I'm a sell stuff. Okay, well, who's going to buy the stuff you want to sell? Robots? Magical websites? Or people? You know, I mean, people. You need people. That's why I keep harping on people to take certain percentages of their money and use that money for traffic, and that will take care of people who can't recruit. But people don't fucking listen. So, going back, that's why I've pieced together the strategies that I have. And I have two strategies. I'm still using the rev share strategy, and I'm using my instant cash strategy. Each of my systems are separate, because some people are getting all confused. They have them separate for separate reasons, because some people, they just don't want to do the rev share thing anymore. They just don't. So if you don't want to do the rev share thing anymore, then you need an instant cash funded. This isn't a new idea. Some people call it a funded proposal. Some people call it tripwire offers. Some people call it, you know, it's just a way to get right now, today money, and then use that money for traffic. And then the more traffic you get, the more people are going to sign up, and they're going to sign up for your instant cash business, and they're going to sign up for your marketing system. Hopefully both of those are affiliate programs. So the money you make in your marketing system, that goes in your pocket, and the money you make in your instant cash program, that goes into traffic. And that will keep a perpetual traffic plan going. That will take care of your recruiting if you follow that plan and commit to it and do not deviate. So, and it's the same thing with the rev shares. You know, we're using FutureAdPro. You know, I highly recommend, you know, and it's, okay, I see another question. I need training with following up with signups. When you tell your signups the same shit I'm telling you right now, this is how I'm following up with you right here in this hangout. This is the same, it's the same idea. Why are most of you here listening to me? Because you want to learn a plan, and I'm giving you that plan. It's the same thing. You need to put this plan into your own words and communicate that with your leads. So what I just said with the instant cash strategy, if you're using a strategy like that, then take what I just taught you, put it into your own words, and keep pumping that content out to your email list. And over time, that's what's going to get people signing up with you, because people aren't signing up with you because they don't think you have a plan. Most of you people are on this hangout because you think I have a plan. It's just that simple. So when you have a plan that you believe in, that you know works, nobody can argue that my plan doesn't work. I'm living proof that my plan works. And I will keep hammering that point home over and over and over. And all of my social media posts and all of my emails and all of my videos, I say the same repetitive thing over and over and over again. The programs may get switched out, but the plan is still the same. The same plan I've been following since day one, since I started making money. And that's how you follow up with your leads. You keep hitting the email inbox, and you just keep telling them about your plan. And you commit to your own plan. And over time, that's what's going to have your leads start to view you as an authority, as someone they can listen to, and someone they can join in their business. Just that simple. There's nothing, no magic rocket science. It's just have a plan, stick to it, commit to it, stop joining 50,000 random new things, commit to a plan with what you have right now, and then tell that plan to your email list over and over and over again. That's how you start converting people, period. That's what I'm doing. I have a couple different options. For people who want to do the rev share route, okay, fine. FutureAdPro, Power Lead System. If you're super broke, Lead Lightning, My Paying Ads. The only reason you're using Lead Lightning and My Paying Ads is just to start. If you can't afford 50 bucks a day, Lead Lightning, My Paying Ads. You leverage My Paying Ads till you're earning 50 bucks a week. Then you take that 50 bucks a week. You got your Power Lead System membership paid for with no signups, and you have your $50 FutureAdPro ad packs taken care of. And I just dropped the video on YouTube where I was talking about, and I'm gonna keep throwing out the yellow brick road strategy, because right now I feel that that's a pretty solid strategy to follow if you want to do the rev share route. If you want to do the rev share route. Now, people want to do the rev share route. I tell people in FutureAdPro, if you can work your way up to 100 active ad packs, and I just laid this out in a video, and this is also for you, Valerie, because I know you asked me this question. If you can get 100 active ad packs, and I'm going to show a screen share here because I'm sure people are sick and tired of staring at my face. I'm going to just do a quick screen share here. And I'm just pull up my FutureAdPro back office. And I also want to take a drink of water, and I don't want people looking at me drinking. So this is my FutureAdPro back office. This is what I'm suggesting people to do. I'm just going down to my business and my payouts. So with FutureAdPro, you can max out at 1,000 ad packs. Matter of fact, let me go back here to show you folks. You can max out at 1,000 ad packs. I don't see any need to max out at 1,000 ad packs. I had 500 to 600 ad packs, and I just been hovering here. I take out as much money as I can, and I maintain those ad packs. Here's the thing, you know, and I'm showing you this for a reason. So what did we, October? So October 10th, I took out 475. October 11th, I took out 475. October 13th, I took out 475. October 16th, 190. October 19th, 950. October 21st, I took out 380. Why am I telling you this? Especially when I don't have my ad packs maxed out at 1,000. It's because I'm not playing rev share games. I'm following my own plan. All of that money I withdraw is all going to paid traffic, and I'm sending that paid traffic to my FutureNet Power Lead System, Exitus Elite, Yellow Brick Road system. Okay, now here's the thing. I've done something, and this is predictable income. This is money that comes in, and every single week I withdraw money. As long as I have over 500 packs, I do not care about ad packs. I'm withdrawing as much money as I possibly can, and a portion of that I buy gold and silver. I'll cover in a little bit. And a portion of that goes to traffic. And I do this week after week after week after week after week without fail. Now, going back to the Hangout, I do that over and over and over again, and I do not change. So whatever traffic you're using, it doesn't matter. You know, they have Yellow Brick Road traffic, which I can tell you where they're getting their traffic, but I'm not going to undercut those guys. But you can buy the Yellow Brick Road traffic, or you can buy the traffic from the traffic sources that I say. I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as you get to a certain place and you're withdrawing money. The strategy I'm telling new folks, and this is for you if you're paying attention, Valerie, tell your folks, if they're going to use the rev share strategy, work your way up to 25 to 35 active ad packs in FutureAdPro. We all know how the ad packs work, not going to cover it. When you get there, you can buy an ad pack every other day, roughly, based on sales. So the only thing you have to focus on is getting the 25-ish packs. Actually, 15, 10, just get over 10 and just keep working your way up. Once you get to 10 active packs, it'll be quicker to get to 25. Once you have 25, 30, then you can generally use profits and buy a new ad pack every 2 to 3 days, however long it takes, right? Once you hit 100 packs, have everybody withdraw, yes, I said it, withdraw $100 to $150 a week, right? So now they join FutureAdPro, they have 100 packs, and they're going to, starting Monday morning, every single week, they're going to let their money accumulate till they have 150 bucks, then they're going to withdraw it. The rest of the money they make that week, they're all going to buy ad packs. That 150 bucks every single week, that's going to help you get all of the products within Power Lead System. It's going to take a little bit of time. And that money's going to help you join Exitus Elite, which is going to take a little bit of time, right? So once you get to that level of finally joining Exitus Elite, then you take that $150 a week, you put it into paid traffic, and you do not change. The money you make in Power Lead System goes in your pocket. The money you make in Exitus Elite goes in your pocket. The money you make in FutureAdPro all goes in ad packs and traffic. And that's the exact same thing I'm doing. So hopefully that's making sense. My Broke to Freedom plan, I cover all of this. I lay it out there. And it doesn't change. We're using our profits to snowball, and then we're going to take a portion of those profits to join all the programs, and then for traffic. You see what I'm saying? So that's for folks who are wanting to use the rev share. You're getting to a certain amount, and then you're just going to take out money. And people are afraid to take out money because they're playing the ad pack game, because they're afraid they're not going to get signups, because they're afraid they're not going to get referrals. For the people who commit to the plan and keep doing it over and over again, they're going to have the six-figure incomes no matter what happens. Even when the rev share crashes, we still have a six-figure income because we have a big-ass email list and we have multiple streams of income. So that's why when Traffic Monsoon got done up the butt by the SEC, I still had a six-figure income because I followed the fucking plan. And it's the same shit that I just laid out in front of you. Traffic. Where are we buying traffic, Rob? Same places I always say, and I'm going to say it again. Udemy Solo Edge, Traffic for Me, Traffic Authority, and I have a few people on Facebook that I buy traffic from. And I do that over and over and over and over again. I wish I could tell you something new about that, but it's not. It's the same shit over and over and over again. I make YouTube videos talking about what I just said. I send out emails talking about what I just said. Social media posts talking about what I just said. That's how you convert people to getting to trust in you enough to believe in you, to believe in your plan, to believe you have a way for them to follow to make money. So I'm hoping that's making sense. So I hope, and I didn't mean to get like sounding angry, as I'm not angry, but it's just that's the plan. That's what I do. And if you're hovering around a certain amount of ad packs, you know, you might have to buy a new one here and there with new fresh money to get over that hump. But once you really start getting referrals, that's going to get you over the hump. If you're hovering around 50 ad packs, I'd probably myself, I would take out $50 a week and just put that into paid traffic. And eventually those referrals are going to come in and start getting active, and that's what's going to get you over the hump. A lot of people play the ad pack chasing game, and that's why they get in trouble, and that's why it just doesn't work. The thing is, you cannot be committed to the rev share. You have to be committed to your plan. It's the same thing I've been saying. The plan and the Broke to Freedom plan, I'm taking the yellow brick road strategy, and I'm taking that to the next level. Because basically, I'm at a place to where once you get to like around 500 ad packs, it's time to turn some of that excess money into something, something significant. And that's why, in my case, I take out money from FutureAdPro every single week. Most of it goes to traffic. Some of it I buy gold and silver. And that's it. I just stick to that plan. Every single week I'm buying more gold and silver. Every single week I'm buying traffic. Every single week I'm getting more gold and silver to pass on to my kiddos. And every single week I'm getting a bigger email list. You cannot beat that. I don't care what, other programs or companies are out there. You cannot beat that. So, and a little story here. Why, gold and silver, because this, I don't know if you can see it, this real money, every single week I'm taking rev share ad pack money and turning it into real money. Yesterday, I was at the place where I buy gold and silver, and there's a gentleman there. He's an older guy, and I guess his son. So the older guy bought, I don't know how many. It was like 2 big ass boxes of silver back when silver was like $4 and $5 an ounce. $4 to $5 an ounce of silver. He bought a whole bunch of silver, right? And he was taking it to the place. And, you know, yesterday, the spot price was like 17, 18 bucks per ounce of silver. So he bought it at $4 to $5 an ounce of silver, and he sold it when it was at $17 an ounce of silver. The bottom line is the guy walked out of there with a check of $50,000. I witnessed it. And instead of putting that money in a bank, what he did was he bought silver with it because it retains value, and over time it goes up in value. And then this is not investment advice. This is not anything. This is just why I choose to use gold and silver as a product to sell online. So basically, the guy walked out of there with a check of $50,000. You know, he bought when it was $4 to $5. He sold when it was 17, 18 bucks an ounce. You know, so the thing is, we all have subscription-based products. You know, Power Lead System, we're gonna buy a product every single month. We're buying our subscription to the Power Lead System. You know, for some of you folks who are on my Skinny Body Care team, you're buying the Skinny Body pills every single month after month after month. You're putting money into skinny pills. Well, my thing is, if we're going to be pushing stuff online, wouldn't it make sense to turn our money into something that's going to retain its value at the very least? I mean, I'm not spending money. At any time, I can take this and go sell it and get cash money for it. I can't do that with my skinny pills or my juicy juices or my shaky shakes. So my thing is, if you followed my plan, if you followed me from last year, you know that I've paid off $100,000 in debt. And just think if I was taking that same amount of money and turning it into something that retains its value. You know, right now I've paid off all my debt, but I don't have anything to show for it other than, you know, a clean credit score that I'm slowly rebuilding. Whereas if I took my excess cash and turned it into something more solid, then, you know, at any time I could take that, I could turn it back into cash. I could just keep it as gold and silver. And then when my kiddo, you know, when I kick the bucket, I'll pass on that gold and silver to my kiddos, and whatever price it is, it just retains its value. So it just makes sense in my head that if I'm going to be promoting something online, it might as well be something that just makes more sense to me, you know? And so when you follow my plan, you will eventually get to a place where you will be in an abundance. You'll have so much money coming in each week, and it's just a matter of taking a percentage of that money, buying traffic, a percentage of that money, turning it into gold and silver, and then a percentage of that money and putting it in your pocket. That's really the whole overall plan. It's just, if you want to do the instant cash strategy, or if you want to do the rev share strategy, or if you don't want to do any, you know, it's just, if you make a commission in any program you're in, you take a percentage, you turn it into paid traffic, you take a percentage, you put it in your pocket, you take a percentage, you put it into some savings of some sort. That's the whole idea, you know? So, you know, that's just my take on it. Again, $100,000 in under 9 months for following that same plan. If you don't want to do the rev share plan, do the instant cash strategy. You know, you make a sale, you take that money, you immediately put it into paid traffic, and it's just keeping that same flow going. So whatever programs you're in, you just keep that flow going. You do not deviate. And every single week, put some money in your pocket. If you're not making money yet, then you need to get out there and start hustling your butt off. You need to start talking about your plan, because people don't join me for the specific videos or my specific programs. People are joining me because of my plan. People will join you if you have a solid plan that you can give them. So if you follow up with your leads, you tell them, this is my plan. This is my money flow. Take my videos and take my videos and reshoot them in your own voice, using your own words, and send that to your email list. And just keep doing that. And over time, that's going to give you content. That's going to create, that's going to brand you as an authority, and that's going to have more people joining you. I hope that makes sense to somebody. I mean, that's what you should be doing. If you have a solid plan, if you keep reiterating that plan over and over and over, you keep telling folks that plan over and over and over, you keep showing them results over and over and over, even if the only result you have to show is you got 50 leads this week, that's 50 leads you didn't have last week. And you just keep doing that. 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 And people will start seeing you more and more and more, and eventually they'll start joining you. I hope that makes sense to somebody. And that's it. You just take my videos, turn them into your own words, and just keep putting it out there. 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 Lead Lightning, you can't send out emails. You have to get the Power Lead system. Lead Lightning, you have the automated autoresponder that either sells Lead Lightning or Lead Lightning in your primary business. The skinny pills, I use to lower my blood pressure, drop some weight, be healthy, enjoy my celery. As long as you have a plan, just follow one of my plans and just hammer it until you get to a place to where you can withdraw money, or use it to get to a place to where you're in profit. I'm just scrolling down the comments, see if there's anything I missed or if anything I can need to respond to. It's what Eugene's saying, just use your money to make money. I mean, that's essentially it. My overall plan is, if you're doing instant cash strategy or you're doing the rev share strategy, is you're following a plan, whatever one you work in, you're following it over and over and over, and you're not changing. You're talking about the plan. Here it is. Here's how you learn. Because it all ties in together. I can't not talk about this. I told folks in the beginning, when I first came out with the Broke Man's Plan, you take my videos and you put them into your own words. When you do that, you learn it and you become more sold on it. Because I listen to those videos, because sometimes I'll get a little scattered, but I'll listen to my own videos and I'll sell myself on that plan above everything else. I'll listen to my plan over and over and over again to where it gets down into my cells, down into my DNA, to where it's just oozing out of everything that I do. Once that happens, my signups go through the roof. And because of my belief in what it is I'm doing. This is also, there's nobody can argue with me about my plan, because I've lived it. I've gone from digging money out of the couch to ride the bus to now a solid 6 figures, no matter what happens. If one program goes out of the, shits the bed, my income is still solid. Nobody can argue with me. My plan works. And until you get that same conviction, until you get that same structure down into your DNA vibrating, it's not going to work for you. You have to become sold on the plan. Once you get a plan, you write it down. You do whatever it is you have to do to learn it. You write it down, you listen to it, you shoot your own videos, you talk about it, you email it, you write blog posts about it, you shoot videos about it, you talk about it, you share it with people. And you keep going over the plan until you get so sold on it that that's going to start coming out in everything you do. And once you get to that point, your income is going to change. This is also why I've put the Global Information Network on the back end of my plan, because that's where I learned all of this information from. It's not just random shit that I'm just sitting here spewing. This is just stuff that I've learned, I've experienced, and nobody can tell me otherwise, because I've gone through this stuff and it took me listening and learning over and over and over again till I could finally get to a place to where I could start changing my own life from following this stuff. And it took me 5 years. It didn't just happen overnight. And it wasn't just traffic monsoon either. It was long time before just sticking it out, figuring out a plan, and then once I got a plan, to stick to it. Drown out all of the noise, all of the new programs, all of the new bullshit. Come up with a plan, you write it down, you talk about it, you blog about it, you email your leads about it, and you just keep hammering that fact, that point home, and sooner or later that belief is just going to start coming out, and people are going to know. People are going to listen to you. They're going to listen to the words you're speaking. They're going to see how you're being. They're going to see your posture. They're going to see your facial expressions. They're going to hear it in your voice. It's in everything. And until you get to that point to where you have rock solid belief in your plan, it's not going to work. That's why I'm also big on my own personal Facebook group, my Complete Freedom Facebook group. I want that group, and you don't even have to be following my plan. If you're in the Global Information Network, you're in my group, and you have instant access to me. And it's because of that information is why, I've experienced it. I've gone through all the ups and downs. I've created my own plan. I have the rock solid belief in my plans, even though I may have multiple different plans. But at the end of the day, that's what I want for you folks listening to me. You have to go through this process for yourself. You have to get that deep-seated belief in the plan, come up with the plan, write it down. Whether you're using my rev share strategy, instant cash strategy, or you're doing something else, you come up with a plan based on the stuff that I'm sharing, based on my videos. If you don't have a plan, just go to my YouTube channel, check out my videos, start taking those videos and putting them into your own words, and then put it into a blog post and put it into a video, and send that information to your email list, post it on your social media, and just keep doing it. That's what's going to get people signing up with you. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just scroll down here. My game plan starts Monday. I don't know if that's why you start Monday, but record your talks like this one, turn in MP3s, listen to them over and over. But that's what it takes. It's you listen to, I don't want to say listen to me, but if you listen to me long enough, you're going to start picking up on my language patterns, and you're going to start picking up on my belief. And then it's just going to, and I don't want to say it's going to start spreading, but it's going to start spreading. I mean, that's just how it works. If you're rock solid, sold belief in something, and you know that it just makes logical sense, you look at it on paper, yes, this shit makes sense. There's nothing else. Hey, look at this new program. My hands are full. I have a plan. Well, what's your plan? La, 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 and you tell them your plan. And that's it. You're just moving. You're moving. You're executing. You know exactly what you're doing, and you know exactly where you're at in the process. And this is also going to help me tie in that other comment I saw earlier, to where I have 17 ad packs, and I got some opt-ins, and I don't have signups. Okay, you're focusing on your lack of results, And when you focus on lack of results, you're going to get more lack of results to focus on. If you're focusing on the plan, you're not focusing on lack of results. And if you're focusing on the plan, you're going to convince yourself that the plan works, and you're going to work it more, and you're not going to care about the results. And that is what's going to get you more results. And I know that probably just went over somebody's head, but I'm going to say it again. If you're focused on your lack of results, you're going to get more lack of results to focus on. If you're focused on lack of results, the only thing you're going to look at and see and notice and get is lack of results. Period. If the only thing you're focused on is the plan, the step by step, all right, I got to get to 35 ad packs. That's the only thing I'm focusing on. I don't give a crap about anything else. I'm not even going to take another breath until I get to 35 ad packs. Boom, you got it. Now I'm going to focus on 100. Got it. Now I'm going to take out $150 a week. Now I'm taking out $150 a week. My Power Lead system is paid for. I joined all the programs in Power Lead system. I joined Exitus Elite. Now I'm using $150 a week for traffic. I'm not doing anything else. I'm taking Power Lead system money. I'm putting it in my pocket. I'm taking Exitus Elite money. I'm putting it in my pocket. Sooner or later, you'll have enough of an excess to where you can join International Silver Network. And then you have an excess to where you can join the Global Information Network. Once you get to that point, you just keep hammering traffic. You keep talking about the plan. Your belief in that plan is going to be through the roof if you just commit to what I just shared. If you just commit to that and just do that and don't give a crap about anything else, watch what happens. Just, you know, and it's, you're not even focusing on results. You're focusing on your own goals, your own benchmarks, if you will. 35 FutureAdPro packs, boom, 100. Once I get to 100, I'm taking out $150 a week. And the only thing you think about morning, noon, and night is 100 ad packs, 100. Once you get there, you're withdrawing $150 a week, and that money is going to fuel your business. If you have a job and you have a steady source of income, you don't want to do the rev share route, well, then advertise another program, and every single paycheck, take out 50, 100, 150 bucks, use that for paid traffic, and just hammer it. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times to create the incandescent light bulb. So that being said, hammer traffic to your current sales funnel until you get 10,000 leads. I'm saying it again. Thomas Edison failed to create the incandescent light bulb 10,000 times. He found 10,000 ways it would not work. Okay, well, taking that to what we do, you take your one sales funnel and you hammer it until you have 10,000 leads. At that point, you're going to have results. Law of large numbers. See what I'm saying? And so when you get focused on just the plan and different steps, you're not focused on lack of results, which is going to get you more lack of results to focus on. You're going to be focused on the plan. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going to get you over the hump and start getting you results. Hope that makes sense. I'm just scrolling down, see if there's any comments, any things like that. Tuned out. Yeah, everyone's already pitching stuff, and you know, there's all kind of new stuff, and it's just a distraction. You know, you focus on one plan, one single solitary plan. This is my problem because, you know, when traffic monsoon happened, I was like, well, crap, you know, I'm kind of spread out a little bit. And, you know, but once I trimmed the fat and got focused on a single solitary course of action, that's it. You know, it's game over. It's just a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. So I hope some people got some value out of this. I'm just scroll down, see if there's any comments. You know, we got about what, 39, 40, folks in the room. So hopefully this makes sense to some people. If this makes sense, if you got some value, if you got some ideas, let me know. This is what I'm starting to do. As soon as I get 50 a week, convert power lead system. What paid traffic sources, you know, if you only have 50 bucks a week, you know, you can't use Traffic Authority. If you only have 50 bucks a week, you know, Udemy solo ads, you know, MLM leads is just slow. It's not converting. It's just super slow. And it's becoming one of my pet peeves is slow traffic. If I buy 1 click or 1 million clicks, I want the shit sooner rather than later. And that's the only gripe I have with MLM leads. Traffic token, you know, if you're taking 50 bucks out a week, 1 week, buy traffic token. Then your traffic token is covered for the month. Next week, Udemy. Yeah, see what I'm saying? And just rotate through all your traffic sources wherever you can buy traffic for 50 bucks. So if I had 50 bucks a week, first week, traffic token for the month. If you're using them. I don't know what's happening with them. They're on, they're not. They gave refunds, they're not. I don't know. But this is just a plan. If you have 50 bucks a week, first week, boom, traffic token. Second week, Udemy solo ads. Third week, MLM leads. Do you see my thinking? This is what I do, and this is why I have constant leads always coming in. And you know, even now, I'm not buying as much traffic as I used to, but I still get 100 some odd leads a day, just all over the place. You know, so first week, traffic token. Second week, MLM leads. Third week, Udemy. You know, fourth week, find some person on Facebook and sell solo ads, and just repeat. Next month, back to number 1. You see what I'm saying? And just do that. Do not change. Do not change. People focus on lack of results, and they get lack of results, and they stop buying traffic. If you just focus on the plan, I don't give a shit. Every single Monday I'm buying traffic. I don't give a crap. Give me traffic. And that energy is going to shift. And that's what's going to start getting you results. And you're not going to be focused on lack of results when you're so consumed with following the plan. So what do you use for tracking your solo ads? I just track clicks. I click magic and I just track my clicks. And I don't track YouTube videos and all this kind of other stuff. I just, you know, I just commit to that because I have so many links and so many things out there. It's you know, I drive myself bonkers. The only thing I'm focused on, you know, here's why I don't necessarily track, you know, all crazy. Because I used to track my blog post. I used to track my paid traffic. When I was tracking my blog post, like links, you know, I had to have a capture page at the bottom of a blog post. I would see how little clicks that I would get, and that would not make me want to write blog posts. You see what I'm saying? That would change my whole energy. Now, when I just, you know, I know that I need to pump out blog posts. And I know over time, that's what's going to start pulling in steady traffic, even when I'm not running paid traffic. When I stopped tracking all my blog posts and I just pump out blog posts, pump out videos, that shift in energy is all the difference in the world. So like I look at a YouTube video, man, I only got 50 views. That doesn't make me want to pump out more videos. But when I have the mentality, all right, fine. Even if I pump out one video and I get 1 view per video, I'm gonna pump out 1 million videos, and that's what's going to get me my 1 million views. You see what I'm saying? And that shift just changes everything. That changes your momentum, and then boom, you're off and running again. But when you're focused on, oh, I did a video and I only got 17 views and no subscribers, that's going to get you more lack of results. But when you're focused on taking action and you're just hammering shit out, then that's when you're going to start getting more results. People are asking me about traffic sources. Tell them I don't know how to track. I just focus on a plan. I just focus on a plan. Well, what's the plan, Rob? What I just shared in the video. Say Power Lead System has very good contact manager, kind of traffic source. I mean, you can use that. I don't, that's getting too in the weeds. You're not getting enough leads to make for it to really matter. You need lots and lots and lots and lots of leads before you really know whether or not a funnel, a capture page, anything like that works. So, that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I think we're going for about, what, 50 minutes so far. Yeah, that's what Renee said. She's getting signups you don't even track. And that's what's going to start happening. You're so in the flow of just pumping out content, buying traffic, following your plan. You're going to start getting signups all over the place. That's the idea. It's not, I got to track my 50-click solo ad that I got from this one guy that I bought 3 years ago, and I need to split test that. It's not enough. You have to put out a lot of energy. What you put out, you will eventually get back. But in the beginning, you have to put out a lot, and you have to commit to putting it out, and you have to keep doing it and keep doing it until you start seeing it come back to you. And when it does come back to you, you have to keep putting out. That's why I keep doing these hangouts, keep doing a Facebook group, keep posting about it, keep talking about it, because that value you put out will eventually come back, but it will not come back if you quit or if you change or if you deviate or if you do other things. Also I see Bill, what's the Yellow Brick Road system? It's just if you got my email or Facebook, send me a message. But it's a system that promotes FutureNet and Power Lead System and Exitus Elite. So if you're on my Facebook, hit me on Facebook. I'll send you that information. I'm just scroll down, see if there's any other comments. But the plan, if you're using an instant cash strategy, whatever the program is, if you make a sale, you take that money into traffic, and then money and Power Lead System in your pocket, and just keep going, keep going, keep going. Same thing with the rev shares. Certain amount of ad packs and withdraw, and then use that money for traffic, and then Power Lead System money pocket. Just keep that going. Also, and that's why and also with my Facebook group, I'm gonna just keep talking about the plan over and over and over again, and then that's going to get us all thinking alike, us all vibrating at that same level, and us all starting to get the same results. It's not just random stuff I'm piecing together and putting here. This is a very specific and calculated thing, and I want folks to get it. When you get in a Facebook group, also, listen, and also, here's another thing. I'm gonna just put this out here too. The Global Information Network audios, they're all on YouTube, levels 1, 2, and 3. Get those, put them in a funnel, or not a funnel, put them in a YouTube channel or a YouTube playlist, or if you can download them on your MP3 and listen to levels 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3 over and over and over again. If you can get those audios, the Global Information Network levels 1, 2, and 3, you can get them on YouTube because people leaked them and recorded them and put them out there. Get levels 1, 2, and 3 and listen to them over and over and over again. Just listen to those audios. What's going to happen is you're going to listen to those audios, and that information is going to start changing you. And it's going to start affecting your results in your business. And it's going to be working in your life because you're going to see the results. Suicide to 6 figures a year income. I'm living proof that the stuff works. And it wasn't just, oh, Rob got lucky and finally hit on traffic monsoon. No, it was all of the work I was putting into this before, stuff even started to happen with me with traffic monsoon. So understand that. So you have to have a group of people to keep you on the same page, to keep you focused, to keep you moving forward. You have to be, you know, and if you can't get that, then the Facebook group is at least, you know, that one place where you can. You get in a Facebook group, you get sold on a plan. The more you get sold on the plan, the more you're going to start talking it, speaking it, blogging about it, emailing your leads about it, and the more people are going to start joining you. See what I'm saying? And I see a comment, we can't refer people to Rob's videos because they'll sign up with Rob rather than me. Yes, that's why I tell you to make your own videos. I'm trying not to get mad. What I just said, and I'm going to say it again. When you listen to the Broke Man's Plan, and it all ties in together to what I just said. Listen to what I'm saying, put it in your own words, get more sold on it. The more you get sold and convinced, and the more you know you have a plan that works and a group of people that's going to push you until you make it work. Once you start really getting it into your sales, into your DNA, it's going to change you, and it's going to change your results. So take my videos, put them into your own words. That helps you learn it. That helps you understand it. That helps you get it. That convinces you of it. And that brands you as an authority. That shows your email leads you have a plan, you have a list. That puts out content. Do you see how it all works together? Everything is working together. I don't know how to make videos, Rob. Take any one of mine that applies, because I know I have a few of them. Put them in your own words. That helps you get sold. That helps you get more convinced. That helps you get more convicted. That affects your language patterns, the words coming out of your mouth. That's going to give you content on the internet. That's going to brand you as an authority. That's going to show your leads you have a plan. You see what I'm saying? Everything just starts gelling together. And that's the point. That's the idea. So, you know, if you don't want to send them to Rob's videos, well, make your own. Don't be scared. Shaky cell phone. Whatever, that's a calculator. Shaky cell phone. Just start putting stuff out there. And then that's going to convince you of it more so. That's going to give you content to share on the internet over and over and over again, especially when you're at work. So if you have a job and, you know, Emma Charles from I think Italy, she was saying she's going skiing, but she doesn't want, you know, her Facebook followers to kind of get scattered. And I said, well, you take the plan, you put it in your own words, you put it in a blog post, you put it in the videos. Then you can use Hootsuite to share that plan while you're gone over and over and over again. I try to do that when I'm on vacation. You know, if I'm going on vacation, I'll take some old content, I'll talk about the plan, and I'll share it on all of my social media profiles over and over and over while I'm away. And then I make sure to have, you know, all of the information underneath all those videos and blog posts. And again, this convinces you more that the plan's going to work. This puts out content. This shows your email leads, you know, your email list that you have a plan. And they're going to start trusting in you more and more and more. And that's the idea. So just do that. If you're lost, just do that. Find one of my videos that applies. Turn it into your own words. Turn it video, make it a blog post, email it to your leads, share it on social media, and keep going. So, but yeah, Hootsuite. Yeah, just, you know, share it on Hootsuite over and over and over again, and just keep going. So, doesn't matter if quality videos. fuzzy, shaky video cell phone. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I make all my videos in the same corner of my house. You know, subconsciously, we're creatures of habit, and that's what we do. So many gurus will not tell you this. I don't know what I was saying, but yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna just wrap this up here. Just scrolling down, see if there's anything I missed or any other questions. But yeah, I'm sending all paid traffic basically to the yellow brick road system. Will say they're broke because people will. I send them the Elite Lightning My Paying Ads system. And then if they don't join me in any of the rev shares, I'll send them my instant cash strategy. I'm building one email list. And then everything I always ties in, it always is all going to back into, ISN and Gen. And, that's how, all I got to do is just keep getting new people into the beginning of my sales funnel. And that's really it. And that's what I want for you folks too. Just understand it's a numbers game. It's going to take lots and lots of numbers, lots of YouTube videos, lots of putting out content, lots of blog posts, lots of social media posts. Just keep putting this stuff out there, and sooner or later your stuff will catch on. So that being said, wrapping this up, appreciate you folks. Have any questions, hit me on Facebook. We'll get together again next Friday.